Okay, come on, bring it in. Bring it in. Come on. Listen up. Listen up. It's not about what you're capable of, it's what you're willing to do. That's a quote by Mike Tomlin, head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's led his team to 11 playoff appearances, 7 division titles, 3 AFC championship games, 2 Super Bowl appearances, and 1 Super Bowl 43. And the most amazing thing about this is he did it all before age 36. I really wanted to cover this today because a lot of times we are out there doing what we're capable of, but is it what we're really willing to do? So if you're going through a lot of the motions and you're doing everything that you know you can do out of your capability, are you really thriving to be extraordinary? Have you really gone that extra step? So many people have potential, but potential means nothing without action. So if I have the potential of actually, this is perfect. I will use this as an example. So I have the potential of becoming an NFL coach, but have I gone through the actions to get me there? Do you have the potential to get you to where you want to go in your next goal, your next step, your next success? But have you taken the actions to do it? Because we all have natural talents and abilities, but success comes to those who are willing to put in the work consistently, even when it gets tough. And we have got times in our lives that we're going to be sideswiped and tackled, and things are going to hit us blindside that we didn't expect. And there's going to be things that happen that are out of our control. And we're going to have to look at it and go, okay, is this going to be something that requires my attention, or is this a distraction? Now, if it's something that requires your attention, totally understand. We all have things that happen in our lives, whether it be with family, whether it be with our finances, whether it be with something that just stops us in our tracks from what we're trying to do. It doesn't mean that this has to be something that is the demise of our goal. There's always a willing and a way to get around it. And willingness is to go beyond. That is what's going to separate us from the dreamers and the achievers. Because I can say all day, oh, I would like to do this, or I wish I could do that, or this would be nice. However, the difference between that is the actions that are taken to make those a reality. And true success is about stepping outside your comfort zone. Sometimes it's sacrificing and staying committed. Are you willing to do what it takes, even when no one's watching? And I say this a lot to my guys because they're always like, "Oh, coach, I got school and I got this and I got practice." And I'm like, okay. And I get it. We all have responsibilities. And I think there's a miracle in the middle when it comes to balance. However, how much time are you wasting doing things that really aren't productive? And what do I mean by that? Maybe the mind rot of scrolling through a social media platform, or just doing something that is not really productive. Now, I'm not saying you have to be 24/7 focusing on everything that you need to do, because there has to be a balance. However, I do know that there is things that do take away and that are distractions that will keep us from moving forward. So if we replace those distracting things and use that time to be able to learn, train, do something, take one step closer to our goal, it's a compound effort. Every little thing you do is going to contribute to where you want to be. And I've seen it. I've seen it over and over, year after year. So you have to embrace those challenges. The harder the task, the stronger your willingness really needs to be. I've had a lot of guys over the years that have really wanted to step into roles that they just were not physically able to do. And I loved their passion and their drive, and I could see it that they really wanted it. And instead of just telling them, sorry, buddy, you're not going to be able to fill this role, what I would say to them, especially if I knew I was going to see them the following year, work with them, because if they came in as a freshman and I knew I'd have them all the way up to their senior year, I could help them evolve into the player that they wanted to be for multiple reasons. One, we know as whatever you look like and however you are coming in as a 14-year-old, you are going to be completely different by the time you become a senior and your body has turned into an 18-year-old. So what I would tell them is, I know you want this position and I got you. However, what I'd like for you to do is fill this position that we've got you in right now, because again, it's always a team effort and everybody's got a job that's going to help us succeed. But for you as an individual, if you really, really want this, you're going to have to decide, what is it going to take to get you there? If you really want to be that receiver, if you really want to be that slot back or that running back or whatever position it happens to be, then you're going to have to step out of your comfort zone and do whatever it's going to take to get you there. And you're going to have to also understand that willingness means doing the hard things instead of settling for good enough. And I'd watch them and I could tell the ones that really wanted it because they were the ones that went above and beyond. They'd stay after practice and ask for additional help. They'd go to another coach or they'd get with their buddies that were actually playing that position. And they would go out there and sometimes just have some fun out on the field. But I'd also see him out there on the weekends. And I'll give you an example. I had a player and incredible person, and he was playing two sports, and he really, really wanted to fulfill being a kicker, and he was also playing soccer. And he was great. He's a great athlete anyway. And I said to him, and just like I've said to other players, I said, look, I know you have a love for both of these sports, but there is going to come a point where you're going to have to decide what is more important to you. Where do you see your future going? What are you going to do to get you to the next level? And sometimes it might mean sacrificing the other thing. And I said, if you really want this position, if you really see yourself taking a scholarship or making yourself to the next level or playing in college, then you're going to have to decide which sport you really want to focus with. Because as you go forward, you're going to have to focus on those things. Now, if it doesn't matter, then yeah, by all means, have fun, do what you love, keep going forward. But if you really want one of those things, you're going to have to focus on it. And it's going to define you. At the end of the day, it's not about what you have done, it's about what you did. And did you take those next steps to get you to the next position, to move you forward in your business, to move you forward in your life, to move you forward in whatever the passion is that you have that you want to accomplish? Your legacy isn't going to be built on your potential, it's going to be built on your actions. And every day, ask yourself, am I doing all I can? Am I doing all I can? Because you are going to have to answer that yourself. Because at the end of the day, no one's judging you on whether you got yourself to the next step or did you do something that got you closer to your goal. Only you can answer that. I want to ask you, what are you willing to do today to chase that dream, to grasp that dream? Forget about chasing it. I don't think chasing anything is really going to help because sometimes you never catch it. You got to grasp it. You have to go after it. You have to go for it with everything that you want and not allow anything to get in the way because the choice is yours. It really is. So I want you to remember your capability, use it and use it in those actions. Have the willingness to go beyond, embrace the challenges. There's actions over excuses. Make sure that you're doing everything you can and not use an excuse to get you in the way of what you really want. And your willingness defines you. Go out there, go give it everything you've got. So bring it in, bring it in. Start strong and finish strong and dominate everything in between. I'm Coach Mikki. Go get 'em.